right, guys, I'm going to begin by just saying, I mean, this is basically one of the most sort of sweetest, charming movies that I can remember. Did it feel quite like that to shoot? Is that tone that is on screen? Is that kind of did that come from the kind of shooting environment that Paul created for you?
My memories of the shoot were of it being really, really cold and really, really hard work. But you're absolutely right in saying that the spirit of this film is not only Michael Bond's creation, it's also Paul King, who's our writer-director, along with Simon Farnaby, who wrote it with him. Would that be fair to say?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it must help, I suppose, in some ways, because Paul is pretty much one of the nicest people I've ever met. that must make things just that little bit easier when you're turning up to work every day.
Yeah. He's easy to suggest things to, and he's easy to work with because he will listen to you and he'll help you work it out and things like that, instead of someone just saying, I want it this way, do it that way.
He only ever wants what's best for the scene and is truest to the spirit of the character and the story. So, there were a number of times when we'd be shooting a scene, like the scene in the street with the car when the car breaks down, where he'd say, it's just not quite right, and I'm sorry, it's my fault, I've written it badly, and he'd beat himself up about it, and he'd say, no, it's fine, but he'd say, no, I really want to get this right, and we'd go back and revisit the scene 2 days later, and he'd have rewritten it, and so he was a perfectionist, but not in a sort of shouty way, just in a really just wanting to do the best, and that's very much the spirit of Paddington.
I think with certain scenes, when, like you said, it can be quite cold, or we have to do it over and over again. Paul is always there. He always seems to sort of spark it up a bit. He sort of motivates us to do it and just keep going until we get it right.
Because, obviously, Paddington's been translated into 30 languages and it's sold over 30 million copies. What do you think it is about this bear that's just so special? What is it that we, around the entire world, this universal kind of appeal that this sort of little furry creature has?
Look at his face. He's so lovely, and he's so just... You just want to give him a hug, don't you? Right?
I think if you really sort of drill down into it, I think we've all been Paddington. Whether we're going to a new school, a new town, or a new country, we've all been vulnerable, and have depended on the friendship of others and the offer of help from others. And that's a very simple, universal character to identify with.
In every single person, there's a tiny bit of Paddington in us.
And as for you two, how much of your kind of life's changed since the first movie? Because that was your real kind of introduction into cinema. Have you how has it been these past kind of 2 or 3 years for you?
It's sort of brought everything out. We've been spotted in a way, and it sort of begun my acting career in a way, because this is the big thing, and now we've been spotted for doing other things, and I think this is probably the major thing of the beginning.
I think that's the same for me. I think before the first Paddington, I'd only done television, so coming into a film that's actually so huge straight away for my first film job was such a massive change, like from TV. And same for me. It sort of just kick-started my acting in a different path. But he's still at school, I'm still at college, and we get on with our lives, don't we? So it's nice.
I'm just going to warn you that not every film is as successful or as fun as this one.
I know, but we can think it is.
Sam, your character loves steam trains, obviously.
Yes.
J-Dog. Do you guys harbour any kind of secret hobbies or passions that you sort of in your own time that you like to do that you're not too particularly proud of?
I think there's nothing that I'm not too particularly proud of. I think I'm a petrol head, to be honest. I like cars, which is my main hobby. I always, when I stop off at school, I always go to the newsagents and look at Top Gear magazine or something like that. And I think that's my main enjoyment.
I think for me it is a mixture of music and art. I used to play guitar a lot when I was little, and I've just started it back up again. So I do that, and I'm studying art at college, and just having those two, that's my little hobbies.
My main skill is trying to learn the difference between weeds and plants. And I think the sooner I learn the difference, the better my relationship with my wife will be.
Brilliant. On that note, thank you so much for your time. Cheers, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys! Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey